The first trading day of the year, and it's a volatile one. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechWith Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Friday. Today's January 2nd. It's actually my birth date. So I wanted to come on here and wrap up quickly like what we've learned so far. So like we try to start off every morning is we try to ask ourselves a very simple question during our live trading session. And that is, hey, are markets bullish or bearish today? And if you looked at how markets were trading pre-market session, you would say that, oh, look, based off of the close from the day prior or the previous trading day to how we opened up at, markets were looking quite bullish, especially with how quickly they gapped up. But it was, again, just for a very short period of time. It showed bull trap qualities when all of a sudden it looked like it was about to curl on over to retrace back to previous lows, and then it just shot up. So during today's live trading session, we waited for indication of a resistance. It peaked, it curled on over, and it began to aggressively sell off. And as NASDAQ began to aggressively sell off, although the market is slightly in the red, it's not even that big of a red day. It's more of like the move was more significant, because I think at one point, NASDAQ was up over 1%, which is a pretty decent day for the NASDAQ. But now it's down about 0.25%. So that's a big move intraday. It's not a big move overall from the previous close to where we are right now. So I want to get that understood. Markets are, as of right now, intraday oversold. It's testing for signs of a support and maybe some recovery potential. But the very interesting thing that I wanted to share with you that our team caught was that, hey, it looks like big tech was selling off. PLTR is aggressively selling off. Amazon is aggressively selling off. And although Nvidia is still in the green, it's still sold off, right? I think Tesla was also one of the ones that kind of got hit pretty hard today. But speculative stocks are not trading the same. And I think it's interesting to just point that out because, again, if your focus is to either go long or to go short, hopefully if you weren't aware of it already, you can kind of like see the disconnect there. But if overall markets continue to drop, that's what excites me most is, well, as of right now, let me show you. CoreWeave, it's up 12% on the day, and it looks incredibly strong. Irene, up 11%. NBIS up about 7%, DJT up 5.2%, so on and so forth. MSTR up 5.2%, and you even have Bitcoin at nearly 91,000. Whoa! What's going on here? The only one that's kind of speculative that still looked kind of weak was Oak Globe, although it is now up 6%, it kind of was retracing and trading a little bit lower. This one it was Oak Globe and QBTS that were trading a little bit on the weaker side. The ones that are very, very bullish today are definitely MSTR. It's holding very well. What was the other one? CoreWeave, it's up 12%. And then Irene. These are the very strong movers on the day. But this is what excites me most. Is first off, you saw this come out today or yesterday, and it says stretch dividend rate turned up to 11% for January 2026. So all power to you. If you think that STRC, investing in them with an 11% guaranteed return is attractive, I mean, trust me, I get it. It is attractive, especially when most yields are like 3 to 4%. Trust me, I get that. My question is, well, how long can they sustain this, and why are they so desperate for money, right? And where's this money coming from? And you guys might not like him, but you have to understand where it's coming from. It's just a straight transfer of equity from common to preferred shareholders until Saylor decides that he's destroyed enough common equity and stops declaring future dividends to the preferred. For those that do not know, again, Michael Saylor has recently been even doing more share offerings with MSTR. And while he does these share offerings, he's simply diluting MSTR investors. So this is terrible for those that are invested in MSTR, but good maybe for those that are part of STRC. Don't get me wrong. I get it that if you find the 11% very attractive, I see eye to eye with that. I see why it's so attractive. I would like to ask you one simple question. Long term, what is one yield that has ever offered 11% that's been sustainable? You know what this kind of brings me back to? Remember when BitConnect was out there and they offered you like 1% a day on money that you had invested in their account? Where's BitConnect today? Or any crypto platform that offered extreme interest earned on money invested. It just doesn't make sense, especially for MSTR. You would think that during a downturn, if they were so bullish on their company, they would be buying their shares that are trading at 52-week lows, right? Just like Apple would, right? Or Tesla or Nvidia. If their stocks are ever trading at oversold levels, their company doubles down and invests and buys up their own shares. But Michael Saylor is doing more share offerings. He's diluting more investors to borrow against it, to create capital reserves, because he knows that if markets continue to downturn, or this is the part, if markets begin to downturn in 2026, it's way too early. No one knows and no one can predict the future. I'm not going to pretend like I can. But if markets do begin to retrace, we all know that it's always the speculative stocks that crash the hardest. And that's the part that is exciting, is NASDAQ is already beginning to curl on over. And that is while MSTR quickly pumped up. It's up 5% on the day. It's actually up only 4.9 now. So while we're talking, it's already beginning to sell off. CoreWeave is up 12%. Do you think it's sustainable? Irene is up 11%. How long until they all begin to drop? That's the part that I'm most excited for, is that identify overvalued stocks that are shitty companies. MSTR, CoreWeave, Irene, all these companies either lose hundreds of millions of dollars or are not actually growing as a business, but they were popping off, right? All of 2025. So anytime that they pop off, I let them run. I let them become overbought. And then once we get confirmation of that reversal, we end up shorting them. And that is my favorite part about shorting overbought reversals. Remember, you get to decide if you want to go long and go short. There is no right or wrong. It's wherever you see to be fit and that meets your criteria. Like one of the trades that I took today was on QBTS. And this is one that I plan to open up again. I went short and then I went long, made $4,800 on this trade and have fully closed it out. Again, get in, get out, make that money and bounce. The next focus right now, I would love to short MSTR on my birthday and see how much money I can make shorting what I believe to be one of the most overvalued, even at these levels, one of the most overvalued, worthless businesses out there. Because when you look at the actual business of MSTR, you know that it burns nearly $600 million a year. And it's going to be very interesting in its up and coming quarter to see how it reports its unrealized loss that it has had on Bitcoin in just the past quarter. Because again, that is what it's setting itself up for. So again, I would love to do my part in just keeping you up to date. You might not like my bias or my perspective of, Ricky, you're always bearish. You always want markets to drop. No, even when markets do drop, I load up on good quality companies to invest long term. My largest holdings are going long on good quality companies, but I will never encourage a beginner to buy a bullshit company at overbought levels. I won't even buy a good company when it's not a good deal. That is how I'm wired. I am a deal hunter. And if that is someone that you want to work with, then that is exactly what I'm here to do every day with our LPP team. So whenever you're ready, again, you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. As soon as Monday, once the market opens, daily live session, A to Z video lesson library that's designed for complete beginners, an exclusive LPP group chat. So you get all my trade updates even after our live session. Right now, it's $300 off, and it's the second link in the description down below. So whenever it is that you're ready, again, I'm here. If not, I wish you nothing but the best. Again, you can learn all of this on your own. It's just, again, if you learn best by watching other people do, then that's the whole reason that I'm here. It's just to kind of expedite the learning process and hopefully not put you in a position where you make the same mistakes that most beginners do. So appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.